Nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama. Ngayong Pasko hanggang dumating ang 2026. Proud member of ALC Group of Companies. Latest, pinakabago at tama. DWIZ News Catch Up. News Catch Up.
Pilipinas, narito na ang tamang balita sa oras na ito. Bukas pa rin makipag-ugnayan ang Marikina City Government sa DOH o Department of Health tungkol sa usapin ng pagpopondo at pagpapatayo ng isang super health center sa Barangay Concepcion 2. Ayon kay Marikina Congressman na Barney Teodoro, ang dahilan kung bakit nakipag-ugnayan ng Marikina LGU sa DOH ay upang gawin ding autism center ang nabanggit na pasilidad. Nanawagan din si Teodoro kay Health Secretary Ted Herbosa na iwasan ang turuan bagkus ay may pagtulungan upang masimulan kagad ang paggawa ng nasabing center.
DWIZ News Catch Up. News Catch Up.
At yan mga tamang balita sa mga oras na ito. Mag-follow at subscribe sa lahat ng DWIZ News digital accounts, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, DWIZ News app at DWIZ News website. Ako po si Gilbert Perdes, nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama.
Oras-oras nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama. DWIZ News Catch Up. News Catch Up.
Ang lahat ng opinyon, pagtingin, pananaw o kuro-kuro ng mga bisita at panauhin o mga anchors o host sa programang ito ay sarili at tanging opinyon at pananaw ng mga nabanggit at hindi opinyon o pananaw ng Aliw Broadcasting Corporation, mga producers o mga namamahala ng Aliw Broadcasting o anumang organisasyon na affiliated sa network at kailanman ay hindi iniendorso ng Aliw Broadcasting Corporation ang mga nabanggit na opinyon at pananaw sa programa.
Mga isyung legal ay pag-uusapan, bibigyan daan, mga karapatang dapat ipaglaban, sasagutin ang katanungan ng mga taong naghahanap ng katarungan. Dito sa programa, Laban para sa Karapatan, kasama si Attorney Lorna Capunan. Laban para sa Karapatan!
Sabado na naman, nandito tayo sa Laban para sa Karapatan. Attorney Lorna Capunan with my co-host, Jimmy Regalario. Good morning, Jimmy.
Na umaga po, isang oras tayong mag-uusap tungkol sa ating teritoryo sa Mindanao.
Oo, kasi...
Maganda ang kasaysayan yan eh.
Oo.
Yan lang kasi yung parte ng Pilipinas na nanatiling malayo at hindi na subjugate yan ng kinasinumang dayuhan, di ba?
Lalo na nag-aaway-away tayo dito sa Luzon. Nakakalimutan natin na, teka, ano nangyayari sa Mindanao? Lalong-lalo na, dapat magkaroon ng isang Bangsamoro elections. No? And we'll go into that. But today, we are blessed kasi all the way from Mindanao, we have with us a guest. She is known to many as a peace negotiator. Jimmy, peace. Peace tayo
Ano yan? Yan yung territory ng Pilipinas na hindi nawala ng peace negotiator.
She was Chairman Emeritus and CEO of the Mindanao Commission on Women. And siya po ang nag-negotiate ng peace between Muslim separatists and the Philippine government. Wow. Naging peace advisor siya to then Mayor Sara Duterte and initiated what is now known as the Peace 911 Initiative. Pag-uusapan natin yan. At siya po she took journalism at Columbia University in 1963 and ito, in 2005, she was one of 1,000 women nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Wow. We have with us none other than the Vice President that we never had. Inday ran with Raul Roco. Yung mga loyalists namin, kami ni Inday Jimmy, di ba? Active ka rin doon sa election natin. Kami, together with Senator Roco, founded the Action Democratico. na ginagamit ngayon ng mga maraming politiko na hindi naman namin kilala, na iba na ang mission at
Sino ba ang
vision.
gumagamit ngayon yan?
Eh, nandyan na yung mga, kasi dito sa Pilipinas, dapat merong isang political party na mag-nominate sa'yo. Kundi hindi ka pwedeng
Si
tumakbo.
Isko Moreno yata ang nagdadala
So,
ngayon, di ba?
okay. So, ginawang political turf ni Isko Moreno. At mga ibang kandidato na walang alignment sa political party. Doon ang puntahan nila sa Aksyon Demokratiko. But that's another story for another day. We have with us Inday Morada Santiago. Good morning, Inday.
Good morning. Very pleased to be here with you. Kahit
Okay.
na hindi under the Aksyon Demokratiko.
Malayo pang eleksyon. Pero mas malapit yung usapan natin ngayon. Sa dami ng conflict ngayon. Well, first of all, full disclosure. Tatanungin ko because nabasa ko that you were the peace advisor to Mayor Sara Duterte. Tanungin ko lang kasi tatanungin ng audience, DDS na ba si Laban para sa Karapatan? Are you still connected with
No, I'm not. And I was really there just for that initiative called Peace 911. Kasi almost 50 years na yung insurgency doon. No, almost 50 years before pa kay Mayor Duterte, the father. Pagkatapos masyado ng masalimuot as far as Inday Sara was concerned because there was one man who was killed. Ano lang siya, fish vendor lang siya. So he was, the NPA exploded a landmine. Natamaan yung fish vendor. Tapos pumunta ngayon si Inday Sara, sabi niya, may namatay ba dito? Sabi niya, wala. Pero meron ma'am na sa hospital. So she went to the hospital. And when she got there, this guy was dying. Sabi niya, meron ba pamilya dito? Wala. Akin na yung telepono niya. So she started to scroll down yung mga text messages and she found the I love you. Mabuti na lang yun din ang wife. So so she called up, sabi niya, kinsa man ni, sino ito? Sabi nung woman on the other side, sabi niya, this is Inday Sara. Your husband is here in the hospital. I'll have somebody get you. So to make the long story short, the woman was around when the husband died. And since that time, Inday Sara said, no more. No more widows and no more orphans under my watch. And so that's how, and I was home already at that time from my work at OPAP. Tapos nakita kami. Then she said, can you help me? I want to stop this. Under my watch, I want to stop this. No more orphans and widows. So that's how I got to be the person that she ran to for help.
So,
with
naging
this.
peace advisor ka. But, in the context of, kasi, Kajimin, di ba? I-connect natin ito sa anong nangyayari dito sa bansa natin. Because, Muslim Mindanao has always felt na sila ay separate republic, na hindi naman sila kasama sa diskusyon dito sa Luzon, sa mga problema natin dito, sa corruption, sa flood mess, sa yung mga skandalo na nangyayari sa Senado tsaka sa Kongreso tsaka sa Executive Department. Parang sa usapang ito, hindi ba ka Jimmy? Parang hindi sila kasama. Hindi sila invited sa party. Bakit ganun kaya?
Hindi, may sariling kasaysayan yan eh. They have their own history. Actually, mas mayaman yung kasaysayan ng Mindanao kaysa sa kasaysayan ng buong Pilipinas eh. They have never been subjugated. Continuing struggle yan up to now eh. So, ang point ko, they love freedom and they fought for it and they're still fighting for it.
And they're still fighting for it. Correct.
Ngayon, ang problema nitong Luzon government, ini-exploit yung talaga, yung Mindanao resources. Of the Visayas, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao is the richest in resources.
And yet, hindi nila nakukuha
And yet, yung
yung
development is
allocation. Okay.
Oo.
Yeah.
Inday, give us
Luzon.
give us a situation in Mindanao. Ano bang situation
Before
dyan?
that, I'd like to talk about let's put it in a wider context,
Oo,
okay, of
sige.
peace. Kasi yan ang gusto natin. peace is a relationship. You cannot have peace alone. Kung yung sabihin mo, magre-reflect lang ako pagkatapos I'm peaceful. Wala. Peace is a relationship. That's the reason why when you talk about peace, ang ending niyan is justice, fairness, di ba, equality. Yan ang ending niyan eh. Yan ang mga nakikita mo. Peaceful societies are just societies. So ito ngayon, relationship between the Moro people, the Bangsamoro, and the government and the Philippine national government. So it's always in that context that we have to look at their relationship. What kind of a relationship is that? And how can you make it equal and just? And for the Bangsamoro people, it's really been about identity. You know, this is
Bakit?
so self-determination.
Ang feeling nyo ba, ang Moro, are you called Moros or Muslims? Or
They call themselves Moro, the Moro nation, di ba? Bangsa Moro.
Okay.
Oo.
That's where it came from. No? Ang sinasabi mo ba, Inday, the Moro nation has a separate and distinct identity from
It
Jimmy
has-
Regalario and me?
Nobody
From
has
us?
one identity, di ba? All of us have many identities. No, ang iba mas matingkad lang sa iba, but we have, we're Filipinos, we're Asians, we're citizens, we're all of that. So sa kanila, doon naman sa peace agreement, it is very clear they're Filipinos.
Pero ibang
But that they have
culture.
their own culture.
Correct.
Mainly, most of them are Muslims. So meron silang culture, and they have a history. Diba? Before the Spaniards even came, they were they were states. Sulu was a state. The Maguindanao, the Cotabato province. All of those were states. They were trading with China
Under
already.
Sultans, no?
They were
Sultan.
already trading with China.
Yeah.
So this was a very rich culture. Tapos pumasok nga ang kolonya. So this was the problem of the Bangsamoro today started with colonization. If you don't understand that, you don't understand anything. So this is colonization. So it's always been, that's why,
And the
yung laban sa
refusal
karapatan.
and
Ano ang
the-
karapatan?
Correct.
The right to self-determination. Yan ang
It is
nila.
always about colonization and their refusal to be colonized.
And refusal to be colonized. Pagkatapos, after the Spaniards and the Americans, ayan na naman ang Philippine national government. Hindi din alam yung history noon. And therefore, the right to self-determination was the fight. So yung mga series of negotiations, it was about that. So now, they have to negotiate what that relationship is. But as far as the Philippine national government, kailangan magbago sila. That this is not really, it is not about controlling what happens in the Bangsamoro. It is about the Bangsamoro determining what it is they want as the Bangsamoro.
Except that nung and through many presidents nag-iibang policy, no. Of course, Cory in the revolutionary government recognized the right of self-determination. Kanya doon nag-umpisa yung self-determination, nag-constitution, plebiscite. Tapos nandyan si Ramos, kinontinue na. Tapos nung nasa Estrada, nag-all-out war policy naman siya. Hindi ba?
I was a member of the negotiating panel of the Philippine government negotiating with the MILF at the time. And
Sino ang presidente
I was
doon?
aghast. I was outstanding. I was really, really outraged.
Sino ang presidente doon nung naging
Kung bakit we were there, it was already about almost towards the end. Now we already had a draft of a final peace agreement. Then all of a sudden,
who
we
was
heard
the president then at that time?
this was Estrada.
Si Estrada.
Estrada was
Okay.
kaya ako, that's when I started Mothers for Peace campaign. Sabi ko, go back to the negotiating table, go back to the ceasefire agreement, go back to the negotiating table. And they did. After 3 months, they went back.
Bakit
But yung
nainis
mga
pala?
ganon,
Ka Jimmy,
Ah,
si Ka Jimmy, barkading niya si Erap eh. Bakit siya nag-all out?
parang hindi niya alam kung ano nangyayari.
No, it was the armed forces.
Hindi,
They wanted a war.
They wanted-
yung history talaga niyan, yung parang pinilit yung pagbubuo nung Republic of the Philippine Islands eh. Tapos ginawa ng official agad yung Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Ngayon, hindi, yung Mindanao may peculiarity because they're governed by sultanates eh. Mga iba't ibang yung barangay nga dyan, di ba? From the Indonesian, tapos the Malayan, yung migration na yan. Hindi naman na-break dyan yung yung local autonomy ng bawat dato.
Which continue na to now.
I will tell you a story.
Kaya
Yes.
ang nangyari dyan,
And
I will tell you a story.
nung pumunta yung the first migration ng mga colonizer, nag-umpisa pa yata yung mga Arab traders, pero one after another. That's the only territory of this country na hindi na subjugate. They continuously struggle for their independence. So suddenly, they're annexed and became a part of the Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
So, yun ang tanong nila, how did they
Bakit?
become
They
part
cannot
of the
understand,
Philippines?
Bakit ka
Kasi yung definition, kasi yung constitution,
Pangalawa, maski dun sa trade,
defining the Philippine territory
Yes,
Sa-
yes,
maski
without
sa-
their consent.
without
maski
their
sa-
consent. Di ba?
maski sa trade, hindi nila ginawang sentrong Manila eh.
Tama.
Ang niyan, permisandakan eh. Doon sila talaga nakikipag-trade in from Sulu eh. Tapos na-maintain nila yung culture. And that's why very strong yung kanilang belief na independent sila.
Okay. So, nung define ang constitution natin of what is the Philippine territory,
Included them.
included Mindanao. Sino bang mga taga Mindanao diyan sa Constitutional Convention na yan na pumaya? But anyway, you want to
No,
share
I
a story
wanted
in
to
Dai.
tell you a story about, because your question was, bakit binomba ni Erap?
Oo.
Um,
Bakit
so
nag-all out war?
as I was telling you, I was in the negotiating panel at the time, and we were negotiating a ceasefire agreement. Alam niyo sa negotiations, ang first mo is a ceasefire. Kasi kung wala kang agreement sa ceasefire, di wala. Hindi, you cannot negotiate further, no? So the first is the ceasefire agreement. So I was there. I was really involved in the ceasefire, in making, drafting the ceasefire
Saan
agreement.
nangyari itong negotiations?
The negotiations were in Malaysia,
Sa
in
Malaysia.
Kuala Lumpur. So on that day, so we were already negotiating ceasefire agreement. Ang ayaw ng ceasefire agreement was the Secretary of National Defense, whom I will not name. You can just go back to who was the Secretary of National Defense at that time. Ayaw niya ng ceasefire agreement, no? Kasi I think he wanted to beat them in battle. Yan parang, huwag kayong mag-negotiate. Pwede natin tapusin ito sa gera. Ganon.
Yung pagkamacho ni Erap,
Yung parang ganon. So there I am. And this is going to be in my book. My book is going to be entitled Behaving Badly. Because I behave very badly here. So dumating kami sa airport. Si Gloria Arroyo is coming for a state visit in Malaysia. Tapos, the Secretary of National Defense is there waiting for us. Dating kami, Secretary Doresa and me. Sabi ni Secretary of National Defense, you are not signing a ceasefire agreement. Tapos, Inday Santiago, arms like that, said, at sino ka ba? Ayan ang aking badly behaved story. At sino ka ba? Of course, he's only the Secretary of National Defense.
Sino nga ba
So-
yung secretary?
Wait.
Ilang syllables? Start.
So anyway,
Sino ang secretary ni Erap?
Duresa ba?
sabi ko, hindi siya, So, nagulat siya kasi, babae, magsasabi ng ganon, tapos,
Sinabi mo, sino ka ba
pa
sa-
siya,
Arms akimbo
retired
ka ba?
general pa siya. Tapos sabi ko, at sino ka ba? Sabi ko, are you the approving authority? You're not. The president is. And the president has said, we should sign. Sabi ko, ganon. Besides, sabi ko, you're too late. Sabi ko, I have already signed the agreement. I was telling a bold-faced lie, But But that's how that agreement got signed because we fought for it. Yeah.
Ang pinirmahan nyo is a ceasefire agreement.
Mm-mm.
Pero wala pa rin yung mga...
Political economic.
Wala pa yon. But you have to start kasi with ceasefire.
Okay.
Pagka wala ka ceasefire agreement, hindi uunsad
But
yung...
soon after the ceasefire
hindi uunsad yung
agreement,
talks.
nag-all-out war. Ganun ba ang sequence of events?
Kasi, but when you say why, I think they felt that they could beat the MLF in battle. So there was no point in negotiating. But of course, subsequently, they went back to the table and they had, finally, 2014, they signed the peace agreement. Diba?
Well,
but-
but hanggang ngayon wala bang peace. Okay. Fast forward to today, no? Kasi, sabi mo nga, the Moro Nation wants to assert its right of self-determination, ano? Pero sila nag-aaway sa Moro Nation. When the idea of a Bangsamoro was set into a plebiscite, yung 13, if my recollection is correct, in the Tripoli Agreement, there were 13 provinces or something. Of those 13, hindi naman sila pumayag. Siguro 4 lang ang pumayag sa Bangsamoro na yan, ano. And even now as we speak, magkakaroon ng Bangsamoro elections na hindi naman the whole of Mindanao. So that by itself
It's not the whole of Mindanao.
defeats the argument that the Moro Nation, which is Mindanao, wants self-determination. No, it's still a matter of political interest. Saan ba ako
political
yayaman
interest.
dyan? Yung aking pamilya, yung aking dynasty. Plus, of course, we've heard about the wholesale corruption of Miswari, if that is true. Hindi ba ka, Jimmy?
Bayaan mo sila.
Bayaan mo na lang
Hindi
sila.
natin alam yun.
Hindi
Yeah.
natin. Okay.
I think that if you look at politics, diba? The politics in Mindanao or in the Bangsamoro, it's not the whole of Mindanao, by the way.
Correct.
And the politics in the country today. And so, from my point of view, as somebody who's worked on peace, both as peacemaking, which is negotiating, and now as a peace builder, yung parang, if you go around the country today, and I have been going around the country a lot in the past 3 months, universally, I have felt that people are so sick of the massive corruption. It's universal. Everybody feels, ano naman yan sila? Ano ng klaseng corruption yan? That's there.
Miski saan ka pumunta, Luzon,
Maski saan
Visayas,
ka.
Mindanao,
Maski
yung
saan.
sinasabi
Walang
mo,
exception
Inday.
yan. But then, the next sentence is, pero wala naman tayong magagawa. Okay? So, yan. So me, as a peace builder, what do I think of that? You know, I always tell people that if you want to build peace, there are 2 things, only 2 things that you need to do. Sabi ko, 1 is to build hope. Because without hope, people will not act.
O, sandali. Pero dyan mag-a-argue sa'yo si Kajimi, no? To build peace daw, one thing is hope. Ang
Hope.
tanong namin nakakain ba yung hope na yan?
And I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. Because to me, this is one of the hope stories na talagang I want to make it into a film. Because in this town, in Marawi, in Lanao del Sur, na drug dealing capital of Lanao Sur, kidnapping capital noon. Okay? So then we came in kasi meron kaming Mothers for Peace doon. Tapos sabi nila nagugutom na ang tao. So napunta kami doon. Sabi ko, what can we do here? So sabi ko, kundi magbalik na naman, kidnapping na naman, at saka drug dealing. So yung husband ko, without even thinking, sumama sa akin, he brought seeds, vegetable seeds, kasi meron siyang agriculture supply store. He brought seeds. Tapos binigay namin dun sa mga babae. It is always the babae who accept. Tapos nag-start na sila. They started growing. So in Pechay, you have 3 weeks, you have Pechay. And then, so nawala yung immediate problem ng hunger. Tapos, pagkatapos nun, binigyan naman namin sila ng seeds, ng adlay. You know what adlay seeds is? Yung parang cereal, di ba? Kumikita na sila.
Adlay rice, parang
Kasi ang bilihan ng adlay palay, yan rice, is na palay is 19 pesos. Pero ang adlay is 40 pesos.
Ganun.
So for the first time in their lives, these 2 women held 25,000 pesos in their hands. They'd never seen that before. Uwi sila. So the whole community now wants to plant adlay. So now they are planting. So, and this is where the story comes in. One night, 70 armed men come and shoot, in the air the whole night long, because they wanted one of the guys here, whom they alleged murdered one of their own, to be given up by this group. So, nagtawag sa akin yung aming coordinator ng Mothers for Peace, Ma'am, anong gagawin namin dito? Sabi ko, anong sinabi mo sa kanila? Sabi niya, do not retaliate. Sinabi niya doon. Tapos, did they obey you? Sabi niya, ma'am, hindi sila nag-retaliate. And this is in a place na talagang kung ganun, patayan na yan, They did not retaliate. And later, when we asked them, why did you not retaliate? Ma'am, kasi we have hope in our future. Meron na kaming future, ma'am. Hindi namin pwedeng give up yon by being violent. So that's my hope
Pero
story. If
sinurrender
people
din.
like that can have hope, how can we not be hopeful? Diba? There is no gun in our head right now. There's nothing like that. But in our country is in a crisis. And we have to hope, because then we will act. Okay? And then you stop already the division in this country. Na, ikaw ba ganito? Ikaw ba yon? Yeah, stop that already. Because after we build hope, we have to work together, and so we have to trust each other. And if we don't, our country is going down a slippery slope.
Yeah, well,
Diba? Tapos, and I can only hear division. Diba? Dito ka ba o doon ka ba? Stop that already. That's not where we want this country to be. Okay? So we want the people who stole massive amount of money to be accountable. Because that is what justice is.
Okay, let me be a devil's advocate.
Okay.
It's good. It's good in theory. Speaking as a devil's advocate. So, you instill hope. Huwag tayong mawala ng pag-asa. But in the light of what's going on, you see corrupt leaders now. You see the next generation, their children, their family, kasi political dynasties, the same political mindset, hindi ba yan? Paano mo i-reconcile yung hope tsaka yung Jimmy?
Hindi,
You always say program of action.
Ang problema kasi, yung national
Programa.
government and all the candidates and those aspiring leaders, walang do we have a national program? Economic, we have economics from the UP School of Economics. Ano ba yung pinag-aaralan dyan, di ba? They don't even understand what the economic condition is, Look at Trump. Si Trump, highly industrialized America yung gino-govern. Ano yung first statement niya when he assumed office? America first. And we have to go back to basic, develop the industries. Di ba? Dito wala pa tayong step na tiniga na mag-develop ng industries in spite of the rich natural resources that we have. And what is the definition? I keep on repeating it here in this program of economics. Economics is the study of the resources of man and its allocation to human needs. Ang yaman-yaman mo, hindi mo mapakinabangan dahil puro bobo yung nag-handle ng ng economic program, and there is not even an economic program being presented by any of the aspiring people who wanted to lead and become a part of government.
Okay. Bago natin pag-usapan yan at tanungin natin si Inday tungkol sa question mo, konti mo ng break. Sabi nga,
Ang oras ay alas 11:31 ng umaga. Nandito tayo sa programang
Laban para sa Karapatan.
sa DWIZ Channel
Laban
22.
para sa karapatan.
That time check.
Mga lugar na pinuntahan ng ibang tao, mga produkto, serbisyo na rekomendado. Alamin sa Highly Recommended.
Handa ka na bang matikman ang best dishes ng Bohol? Dito, hindi lang maganda ang tanawin, kahit ang pagkain ay world-class din. Unang-una, ang chicken inato, ang Bohol version ng chicken barbecue na juicy, smoky at perfect sa sausawang suka. Sunod ang Humbang Bisaya, isang mabangong pork stew na mala adobo pero may tamis at lambot na sobrang sarap sa kanin. Hindi rin pwedeng palampasin ang ubi kinampay, ang purple yam na super creamy at ginagawang jam o panghimagas. Syempre, andyan din ang peanut kisses, ang crispy peanut treat na hugis chocolate hills, pasalubong must have to. At panghuli, ang seafood feast ng Panglao. Mula sa fresh crabs, shrimps at pusit na siguradong mapapa-finger-licking good ka. Kaya wag mong palampasin ang mga putahing ito. Siguradong hindi ka lang mabubusog kundi mai-inlove ka rin sa sarap. At yan ang ating highly recommended.
Nakaaway mo ba ang boss mo dahil sa isang bagay na work-related? May issue ka ba sa kumpanya na work-related at di mo alam paano i-handle? Kung problema mo ay work-related, kinig, nood at follow na sa DWIZ Work-Related. Kasama ang motivational speaker ng Pilipinas, si Lloyd Luna, at ang kanyang mga expert na mga bisita sa DWIZ Sabado 3 p.m. Latest, pinakabago at tama. DWIZ
News catch up. News catch up.
Pilipinas, narito na ang tamang balita sa oras na ito. Inaasahang tataas ang arawang sahod ng mga minimum workers sa Central Luzon sa susunod na buwan. Ito'y kung aaprubahan daw ng Regional Tripartite Wages and Productivity Board ang 50 hanggang 80 pesos na wage increase para sa mga ito. Kung sakaling maaprubahan ang dagdag pasahod, magiging 14,215 pesos na ang pasahod kada buwan sa sektor ng agrikultura, habang 14,607 hanggang 15,650 pesos naman para sa mga non-agri sector.
DWIZ News catch up. News catch up.
At yan ang tamang balita sa oras na ito. Mag-follow at subscribe sa lahat ng DWIZ News digital accounts, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, DWIZ News app at DWIZ News website. Ako po si Gilbert Perdes. Nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama.
Oras-oras nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama.
DWIZ News catch up. News catch up.
Ang balitang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Arena Plus. Sama-sama sa arena. Arena Plus.
Ang balitang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Cebu Pacific. Let's fly, everyone.
Laban para sa karapatan. Kasama si Attorney Lorna Capunan. Laban para sa karapatan.
Balik po tayo dito sa Laban para sa Karapatan, and we have with us Inday Morada Santiago. Before the commercial break, tinanong ng isang Jimmy Regulario. Kasi you said for us to attain peace, no? Whether kasi peace nga is a relationship, whether personal or the people with their government.
With the government.
Ang sinabi ko naman nakakain ba? Parang si Bongo, no? Nakakain ba yung impeachment na yan? Nakakain ba yung...
Taga Mindanao yan.
He always goes back to issues na hunger, poverty, and all that. Okay. How do you think, in terms of yung konteksto ni Kajimi, paano natin susolusyonan yan in the short term?
Sagutin ko muna yung makakain ba natin yan.
Yeah.
You know, pagdating mo doon, you really started first with the concept.
Yes.
You didn't just end with something in your mouth without there being a concept. So I always start with what is your framework. So we were talking during the break about what is the economic program of government. Sabi ko, ang ambisyon 1940 ng gobyerno ay magkakaroon tayo ng matiwasay, mahusay at mapayapa na nilipunan. 'Yon ang ano nila. Ang palagi kong tinatanong sa kanila, ano ang framework nyo? Yan kasi kung ang framework palagi is, okay, let us get the foreign investors to come here. Yung mga ganon. Tapos let the people work, be employed by this foreign investors.
Sabihin nila, let's amend the
That's one thing.
Constitution.
Okay, that's the other
Yeah.
thing. The other thing now that I am proposing is that as a framework, use what I call the positive peace framework. Kasi sa peace, may negative peace. Ano ang negative peace? You stop the war. You stop...
Because peace is not absence of war.
absence of war is negative peace yan.
Is
Negative peace ang tawag niyan. There is such a framework called positive peace. And every country in the world that has all these characteristics of positive peace, yung 8 pillars of positive peace, every country in the world that has that has what? High economic growth, is resilient against mga catastrophes and calamities, has social cohesion, walang away-away sa mga tao, yung ganon. They take care of the environment very well. So all the things we want, nandyan pala if you have the 8 pillars of positive peace.
Anong definition?
So yun na
Ano
ngayon
yung positive
yun na
peace?
ngayon ang
How do you achieve
sinesell
that?
ko na framework. So it's 8. Okay, 8. A well-functioning government. Palagi ko sinasabi, hello. Di ba? A well-functioning government. Low levels of corruption. Acceptance of the rights of others. Good relations with neighbors. High levels of human capital. So yung education and health. Sound business environment. Equitable distribution of resources. And free flow of information. So any society that has all 8 is a peaceful society. And all those things, resiliency, yung taking care of environment, walang away-away, social cohesion, high economic growth, all of those things happen when you have all those 8. So yun ngayon ang inaano ko sa mga local governments.
Pero, Inday, I agree, no? But that is the destination. What about the journey? Meanwhile, of course, the destination there is economic prosperity, respect for human rights, resiliency in whatever, resiliency in adapting to climate change and all of that. That is the destination. Meanwhile,
Hindi,
paano ang papunta
alam mo,
doon?
paulit-ulit ako dyan eh. Ilan na yung naging presidente?
Ilan na? 13? 14?
18, 17, di ba? Meron bang pagkakaiba yung mga pinagsasasabi mo dun sa pinagsasasabi ng mga presidente ngayon? Wala. They're mouthing the same thing from the very start. Ngayon, ano lang ang exceptional? Ano yung exceptional? Exceptional lang. I'm trying to relate it dun sa idea ni Trump about America na after having developed for so many years, highly industrialized, pagkaupo ang sabi, America first. Now, in this country, there is only one administration na nagpropel ng development. Carlos P. Garcia. Ano ang policy? Like what Trump is doing in US now, for the sake of the Americans, at the expense of any other nationalities. Si Garcia, ano ang policy ni Garcia?
Filipino
First policy. O bakit hindi pwede yan? Kung hindi na nakikialam yung Amerikano, bakit hindi pa magkaroon ng Filipino first policy uli? Why? Because during the Garcia's term, 12% per annum yan for 4 consecutive years. Walang unemployment. And they were planning to hire foreign workers pa during those days. That's the golden years of Philippine economy. Ngayon, ayaw ni ano yan Ayaw ng Amerikano because they would like to extract and try to manipulate us by getting our natural resources. Ini-sponsor nila yung tatay ni Gloria Macapagal, si Diosdado. And he won, di ba? Ano yung first step that he took after taking power? Ni-reverse yung policy ni Garcia. After having 12% per annum for 4 consecutive years at nag-develop at walang unemployment at ang taas ng per capita income, ginawang liberalization yung policy. Remember yung ano ba yung policy ni Macapagal noon, yung hands-off policy, di ba? Of government and illiberalize yung economy. From that time onward, sinunod naman
naging
ni Marcos.
laissez-faire.
Hindi na nag-develop. Hindi na, perming negative na.
Pero
Perming
Ka
negative.
Jimmy, tama ka, no? Maganda yon kasi if you're talking concept, hope and trust and these eight pillars boils down to the individual and yung value of love of country, di ba? Pero just to address yung sinabi ni Ka Jimmy, ano yung masasabi mo ngayon? Yung kagaya ng policy ni Trump, America for Americans. Where is America now? Where is America now?
It's developing. It's
No.
It's improving its economy.
No, hindi Ka Jimmy.
Percentage-wise.
America for Americans, tinan mo. Realistically, nag-impose siya ng tariff. Lahat ng mga pupunta dito na goods from other countries, ganito ang tariff. So we can develop our industries. Paano nangyari? Yung shipment, lahat ng shipment ng corn from the US to Canada, pinabalik. Ayaw nila, we will not support America. It's happening to their...
I'll explain it in a very vivid
Hindi,
manner.
sandali lang. My point is, maganda kung maganda yan, but now you have to contend with, iba na geopolitics na tayo, hindi ba?
Your relationship with others.
Ang relationship with
Hindi,
others,
totoo yun.
may...
That's exploitative. Saka walang nag-develop ng ganyan ng ang theoretical background.
But for whom
Okay.
ang sa akin naman is because I've been working on peace, for example, that area in Davao where we stopped the insurgency. Pagkatapos, siyempre, papasok ng roads. Dami ng roads. Sabi ko, sandali. Sabi ko, ganon. We have to prepare the people to be able to benefit from those roads. Kung hindi, sino magbe-benefit yan? Hindi yung
kontratista.
Yung mga kontratista na bibili ng kanilang produce for a much lower price. And there it's more efficient because we have the roads. So sabi ko, yung ganun na klaseng mga questions of equity, diba, and equality. Yan ang importante when you're doing development. Kasi ang nakikita ko in many of the pagka nagkaroon ng peace is what I call elite capture.
Alam mo ang pinag-uusapan ngayon sa statistical data?
Jimmy.
Kung ilan ang percentage ng hindi kumakain ng 3 times a day.
Exactly.
Food. Hindi na nga pinag-uusapan yung employment eh. Yung gutom.
Yung hunger index.
Virtual economists will explore and try to debate about a program on the basis of us having food production.
Anong sa
tayo
palagay mo?
nandun sa sa panahon ng 50s eh.
If you were, kunyari, if you mag-snap elections, boto kita ng presidente, anong programa mo? What will be your economic program?
Filipino first policy.
How will you do that?
Develop the agriculture.
How?
Una, palitan na yung old mode of production. Do you know kung bakit tayo meron tayong food shortage? Ang reason, sabi, because there is so small areas of land being planted with food. Bakit maliit yung areas of land?
Ginawang condominium ng mga bilyar.
Sabi niya, pinuro lahat kay bilyar, no? Ginawang ganito, subdivision. Pero ang hindi nakita, did we change the mode of production? Thousands of hectares are still being planted with export crops.
Banana.
Nahinto na ba yung export ng sugar? Ha? Nahinto na ba yung export ng legumes? At yung banana ni Floyrendo by the thousands of hectares? Ba't hindi nagpapalit ng mode of production? Because they control the government. Sino na nanalo pag election?
Oligarchy.
Yeah.
I have an example.
Okay.
I have an example na this wonderful young mayor in Kidapawan City. Alam mo ang ginawa niya? Binibili ng city ang palay. And then they have their own rice mill. And then, so, ang kanilang rice, mura, abundant, nauuna ang kanilang citizens rather than yung sa labas. So, if we had people thinking that way, yung parang, how can my
Tayo
people
muna.
eat well, tapos not spend too much for food, then those are the types of things. Yun ang sabi mo, is that makakain ko ba yan? That kind of initiative, and we have many of those initiatives around the country now, yung Mayors for Good Governance na yan. That's a very, very good initiative. And they're doing those practices. So kung pwede na, in the entire country, there are examples like that we can now mainstream in other parts of the country.
Tingnan mo yung pinag-uusapan sa neighboring countries, Singapore. Pinag-uusapan doon mga industries. O di ba? Sa Taiwan, yung kanilang microchips, saka yung mga industriya nila, yung computer. Sa Japan, ang layo na nila, di ba?
Oh.
China is modernizing modernizing their industries. Sino na lang ang nag-uusap ang Thailand, nagde-develop, di ba? Sino na lang ang nag-uusap tungkol sa agriculture? Food ang inatupag because we don't even have our own food.
We import rice.
Philippines, Myanmar, wala na yata, 2 na lang, nasa unahan pa yung Myanmar eh. Hindi ba nag-iisip yung mga taong nagpapatakbo ng economy, di ba? At hindi, yung UP School of Economics, bakit yan lang ang School of Economics? Bakit hindi magtayo ng ibang paradigm shift?
Ang dami naman. Paano yung UP School of Economics, no?
Yan, ang lahat na nagtuturo sa mga School of Economics of all the schools,
Okay.
nanggaling lahat sa UP School of Economics. Because we only have one School of Economics, which was founded in 1964 by Dooley, an American.
Pero that's oversimplifying yung economic problem natin. Hindi naman
Hindi
dahil sa...
oversimplifying yan, that's the
Okay, so
problem.
anong gagawin? Agriculture. Tama ka dyan.
But there are local executives, local people who have a lot of very creative ways of
Sino-sino yan?
dealing with those.
Marami.
The mayor I was talking to his name is Paulo Evangelista in Kidapawan. He's only 37 years old. So we have all these young mayors and governors who are yung mga kahit na they came, minsan tinitingnan ko dynasty din but they are very well educated now and they are innovating. So to me that's the hope in this country is that there are those.
There will be a generation. Pero sabi nga nila, hindi ba
we're
ka Jimmy, lagi mong sinasabi na it will take 3 more presidents, 18 more years before we
Hindi
get
kasi
rid of them.
walang programa na that is being put in place. Secondly, we only have one economic schools. One school of economics. Tapos yung
But it
mga
doesn't
product-
have
Hindi,
it doesn't have to come from a school of economics is what I'm saying.
Kanino manggagaling?
Diba?
Kanino?
Ayun,
kagaya ng
from the
mga
local
local,
people who are
Ang
coming out with
economics is a
concrete
theoretical
ano.
point that has to be that has to guide an economic program. Ang economic program will be the guide of a nation to develop the economy in general.
And the
Political
economic program
economics
will
yan.
come from the people, is what I'm saying. It will
ganun.
not come from your school
That's a
of
dream.
economics.
Oh, I disagree kasi every time dinidiscuss namin, blame niya yung UP School of Economics.
Hindi ko biniblame. Sinasabi ko, bakit iisa lang?
Hindi naman iisa lang.
Ano,
They are,
ano pang School of Economics meron tayo?
but regardless of the School of Economics, there are young mayors, there are
Yes.
young leaders, there
Yes.
meron tayong, in
We are
fact, I
talking
recently,
about economics eh.
no, I recently discovered, but economics, you cannot always think
Oh, hindi, ganito
national,
na lang
you
ang
have to
tanong.
think
Bakit
local.
mas maunlad nung panahon ni Garcia compared to all the rest of the presidents?
Because of people, because of our own people. Because of the people, di ba? Yung economic policy niya.
I have to keep my mouth
Yeah.
shut.
Who first? Yeah. Who first, diba?
Oh, yeah, but in any event, so ano ngayon ang kasi how do we make this discussion relevant? Yung mga nakikinig sa atin,
dapat
bakit
ganyan.
nag-aaway ang Jimmy Regalario, Kapunan at ang Inday
Hindi
Santiago sa
nag-aaway,
programang
nagbibigay
yan?
ng
How is this whole discussion relevant to what's going on now here?
In the country
Kasi
today? Okay.
in the context of
In the
what's
context
going
of what's
on now.
going on
Kasi
in the country.
merong mga kasi ang after the September
Let me ask you
after
one
the
thing.
September
Let me
21.
ask the guest, no? Ano ang statistical data ng ating economic development? Yung ano lang, halimbawa, employment, halimbawa, income, halimbawa, food production. Oh. Ano, may development ba?
Yeah, well, you have to get another resource person because I'm not the person to answer
Hindi, ang
that.
sinasabi ko, we have to know it before we can talk about it. Kasi pag hindi, paano itong gobyerno to? O, di ba? They have to learn it. May National Development Authority. May NEDA.
May NEDA, may
Bakit walang
millennium.
adjustments, di ba? What
No, it has to be translated nga into the local level. But anyway, tanungin natin kay Inday, how does this now, because we're talking about peace and hope and trust, no? Right now, after the September 21 movement, September 21, big mobilization, ang ginagawa nila ngayon, pocket candle ceremony, noise barrage, tapos pupuntahan nila yung bahay ng kontratista, tatapunan nila ng mud and all that. Wala.
Bakit ang main issue pa rin
So, okay,
poverty?
I would like to
Maski
to
September
answer that
21,
question.
poverty pa rin eh.
Correct.
Di ba?
No.
O bakit, ano ang pinaka-relevant speeches doon nung 21? Yung speech ni Vice Ganda. Di ba?
O sabi niya, ano sabi niya?
PI.
Kulong ninyo lahat.
So, hindi,
Patayin.
mga PI yung lahat.
Mga putang ina niyo lahat, sabi niya. Anyway, because nga of corruption, public funds,
program eh.
the public funds nga used for private gain. Yun ang, which results in all of these flood projects, getting away from agriculture, from schools, from ganyan. Ano ngayon ang ano?
Ang ano ko?
As a peace negotiator, how should we
I
move
view-
forward?
I view things kasi from a social change perspective. No, you want to bring about social change.
Yes.
And we have lessons learned from 1986. 1986, we threw out a dictator. But everything happened, everything went back to this what it was before. There were no structural changes. So yung economic, yung political, and it got worse.
Kasi
now
yung mga lumang
the-
kurakot, pinalitan ng bagong kurakot, mga ganyan.
So I call it the approach. I call it denounce and announce. No? Denounce sign and denounce. Yan, yung mga protest, that's denounce. That's the denunciation part. And that is important. Okay? But we have to announce. what is it that you want? So that this is not gonna happen again.
Correct.
Okay?
Oo.
Kasi pagkatapos nun, mas massive pa ngayon ang corruption. It just went on and on. Okay? So, there is a great need now to discuss among ourselves and do not, and we better make sure we talk to the people who are affected most, diba? Let them, and I said the locals, and let's say, what are we going to announce? What is this political, economic, social structure that we want? And then talking to the people will really be important to that. So denounce and announce. Pagkatapos, the other thing that I'm thinking of is, I studied genocide. Yeah, because I went to Rwanda last November and studied genocide. Ang genocide kasi, ang beginning niyan is hatred, of course. Okay? And then, the other is your enemy. Okay? So, yung othering, importante, tingnan mo yung proseso na yan. Paano sila other? Sa country natin, ganun. Saan ka? Dito ka o doon ka? I'm not even going to mention names because I'm not going to continue that narrative of the division. Okay? So, saan ka? So, when hatred is there, then there's fear. There's anger. You watch out. Because the next step is going to be you dehumanize the other. When you start doing that, that's a very dangerous way to genocide. Very dangerous. Sa Rwanda, ang tawag nila sa Tutsi, yung kalaban ng Hutu, kalaban nila ng Tutsi, they called them cockroach. And then it was easy to exterminate them. Okay, so we better watch out in this country because there's so much anger and
There's so
division.
much hatred, yeah.
Okay, that's why my plea to everyone is: can we stop this division? Are you for this or that or the other? We are for country. Huh? We're not going anywhere if we continue this way. Diba? Where is it gonna go? We're gonna jail somebody, put somebody in jail, put another one. What? Where is that gonna go? Just for political purposes. I mean, it's not the same as for justice purposes. You put somebody in jail. I'm for that. Okay, but just for political purposes, you don't do that. So that's what I'm saying. The only way we can move forward is, number one, we have to give people hope. So let's talk to one another. Let's see what we can do. Let's continue to denounce these people who have stolen massive amounts of money, but let's start to announce what kind of society do we like. And that it is a conversation, a public conversation for everyone to join in. It cannot be an elite capture again, because it was in 1986. Okay? So maybe this country is going to be blessed with a better future if we do that.
Wow. Parang, Jimmy, your last words.
Amen.
Amen. Kulang na kulang ang panahon natin, ano? But sabi nga ni Inday, peace really is a relationship, no? Amongst individuals, amongst the peoples, and the government. But at the moment, we don't see it. We don't see it because parang kung dati ang pinag-uusapan floods, ngayon everybody's talking about the big one, the earthquake, no? Baka yun ang so there will always be a disaster that will take away.
Siguro ang suggestion ko sa government, talagang mag-isip na nung relevant analysis, summing up nung economic programs that has been implemented through the years. Pagkatapos, tingnan na yung ebb and flows ng development. Gumaganyan yung nagpa-fluctuate yung hindi talaga tumutuloy-tuloy Ngayon, ang punto, pag-isipan na wag na mag-rely sa school. Wala talagang ibibigay. Hindi naman tayo pwedeng mag-adapt ng neoliberal ideas and then adapt it and put it into effect sa economic program when we are still developing. Hindi naman tayo highly developed So, pag-isipan na yung stage of development where we are in. From there, tingnan kung ano talaga yung realities, ano nangyayari sa Luzon, sa Mindanao, ano yung level of poverty, ano ba ang problema, pagkain. Kung pagkain ang problema mo, you have a big problem. Mas matindi yan. Hindi na nga pinag-uusapan yung employment eh. Ilan yung industries, ilan yung labor force, ilan yung employment. Ang pinag-uusapan pagkain, my God. Asang stage of development tayo? Nobody can even tell that. Nobody can even tell the students that we have in schools.
I have one,
okay.
just one
Our last-
sentence.
our
I have
last
just
word?
one
Yes,
sentence
please.
because we're down here. Because ang isipin lang natin is that we are different, but we are one.
Maganda yan.
We are
We are
different, but we
different.
are one.
Parang ganon.
Yeah,
We are
diba?
different.
But we are one. So paano
On that
natin,
note.
yan ang work natin ngayon, is how with all the different
Yung
colors.
tawag ko to, manghirap mag-unite niyan. Perming may magnanakaw.
Okay.
Perming may malalamangan.
Okay, on that happy note or on that hopeful note, we are different, tama yun, but we are one. Ito po si Attorney Lorna Patao Kapunan with my co-host ka Jimmy Regalario. Dito po tayo sa Laban para sa Karapatan. Susunod na po si Ma'am Celia Ortega Bueno at Raul Esperas. Have a hopeful, peaceful weekend, everybody.